Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So right now I'm doing like a very mini series where I'm sharing my journey or rather experiences and my different perspectives and thoughts on different things as I'm about to turn 30. So literally the age I'm turning this year scares me to death. And also it's very thrilling and exciting at the same time. So because of that, the first thing I did, I prepared like a list of 20 things I'm proud about my 20s. So I think the first episode in this series, I want to share those things. I don't know. For some reason, I think it's just good to like share with other people your journey and like how you've been through things and stuff like that. Because also people can learn from those stuffs. Also, people get to know that the person that I am today is not just the way I was born. Like this has been a series of different developments and evolutions of my personal life. So in this video, I'm going to share the 20 things that I'm proud to have done in my 20s as I'm about to turn 30 this December. So the first thing on the list, I'm glad and I'm proud to have graduated my bachelor degrees in my early 20s. And I was lucky enough to sort of like also do my master's during my early 20s as well. So after I graduated my bachelor degree, I did my master's degree, which is the second thing that I'm proud about because being an African, I think if I never got the master's degree, I'll still have my parents and my relatives in my back because they're always like, oh, you still have to study more, you still have to go back to school, even after I got my bachelor's degree. So I'm glad and proud that I got the master's degree and then I managed to like put people off my back and then I sort of like gained the freedom to do things based on my will and my personal wishes. The third thing I'm proud about, I'm proud to have moved jobs even when it was scary. Like sometimes I didn't even know like where this job is gonna go, and then I just like ditch it because I even remember like once I had like a permanent job contract, but then that job was sort of like underpaying me, and then I saw this other job ad which the payment was better, but it was just like a 1 year contract, which means after that year I didn't know what my situation would be like, so I sort of like had to make the jump, like the leap of faith and like just ditch this permanent contract because it was underpaying me and then go for a short-term contract which was a better payment, and then I sort of like figured things out on from there. So I'm just proud to have moved jobs even when it was scary. I'm also proud to have followed my own path even though it's very unclear because looking at my siblings I feel like like sometimes your parents have like a certain path that they wish you took, and then you're like, but this does not feel like me. So I'm proud to have said no to the things that my dad wanted me to do and to have done the things that I wanted to for myself. Because if I had to follow my dad's path or my dad's vision for my life, I was to go study medicine. And I didn't even like, okay, like I loved chemistry, but I don't like medicine as a career. Also, I feel like it demands a lot of time, and I'm not that kind of person. Like I really love like being laid back, doing like funny stuffs, and I feel like I'm more of a creative. So like medicine was really not my career, but my dad was like, oh, you're so smart, you should do medicine. At some point, I was like, you know what? I'm dropping this class, and then I'm gonna do the classes that I actually want. So I'm proud to have followed my own path, even when everything went not like as people expected of me. I'm also proud to have picked up running. I think I started running around like 25 years old, 24, around 24, 25. So I did running back in primary school. Like I was very active sportish-wise when I was in primary school. But after I graduated primary, I sort of like stopped doing like a lot of physical exercises. I only did volleyball in secondary, and then I sort of like just stopped after there. And I wasn't as very active afterwards. So I'm proud to have picked up running again like later in my life because I used to love running as a child, like when I was in primary school. I'm also proud to have picked up reading because as a person who reads so much right now, it can shock some people if I tell them that I didn't read as much as a child. Like I didn't find reading entertaining when I was a child, but now I find it very thrilling and I love reading. So I'm proud to have picked up reading. I'm also proud to have tried multiple businesses. Like, I've been the jack of all trades, I swear. Like, I feel like, I don't know how to explain this, but I've tried a lot of things and I'm proud for that because I feel like everything that I've tried has sort of like given me different lessons, which I sort of like get to take them and keep them in like implement them in different ways. So like everything that I've learned through the businesses that I've tried sort of like shapes my journey in different ways. I'm also proud to have made friends outside of school. So I feel like at a certain point in my life, the only people that I knew and the only friends that I had were the friends that I met in school. So I feel like the schools I went to determine everything else in my life. So I'm proud that at a certain point I started like being free and like intermingling with people from different fields and stuff like that. So now I can openly say like I really have like a bunch of friends, a good number of them that I just met them like throughout life, like through different activities. And for that I'm very proud, I think, because it's nice to like have varieties of people from different backgrounds. I'm also proud to have maintained closeness with my family even after I moved out, because right now I don't stay at home, and sometimes it's very hard to like keep in touch and like stay close with the family, especially when you have like your own life and then they have their own life going on. And my parents are very busy, so like it's very hard to like maintain the whole thing. So sometimes I like have to go an extra mile to make sure we're meeting up, to make sure we're like doing things together still. So I'm also proud for myself to have done that. Uh, I'm proud to have still tried dating even after bad experiences, because it's not for the weak. I'm proud to have listened closely and learned from different people, because honestly, like you can only learn enough from your own experiences. At a certain point in life, you have to like grab lessons from the experiences of the other. So I'm proud of myself to have been like, I think if I have to rate my listening skills, I'd say I'm a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like I feel like I'm just a good listener, and because of that, I sort of like sometimes learn a lot of things from just like the lives of others. So I don't really like have to go through everything to like learn the lessons, because sometimes I benefit from listening to the stories of and the experiences of other people. And I'm proud to have continued my investment schemes, even though like at some point I was really like, oh my god, do I really have to do this, especially in my early 20s, like investing in mutual funds and stuff like that. I was like, do I really have to do this sounds like very like an adult stuff, but I was still like pushing myself to like do those things, like, you know, even if the contributions are not that measure or anything, I think is being able to build the habit to like do investments and do like tiny stuffs on the side and stuff like that. I'm proud for that. I'm also proud to have pulled out a lot of strings. Like I don't know. Sometimes I'm even like thinking like, how did I make that through? Like it required like a lot of moving pieces from my side. So I'm proud to have pulled the strings that were required to make me like a landowner at this age with two title deeds. Like I'm very proud. And I'm proud to have traveled. Like I feel like the more you travel, the more you see, the more you know you don't know, and then the more you sort of like open your brain up to learning, the more you like discover actually the world is bigger than you thought it is. The more you see that actually your experiences are like this tiny bit, and there's like a whole lot more out there that you could experience. So I'm very proud to have traveled, because it's sort of like it has ignited something inside of me that I'm like, I really want to see more what's out there. So I'm proud for that. And I'm proud to have expanded my horizon and just like the thinking process around the world. I think I would say like in my early 20s, I was very judgmental. Like I was very rigid in my thinking. I was like, it's just like I thought what I knew was right and everyone else was wrong. Like that was sort of like my thinking process. But I think with like experiences and like hearing from people and like exposing myself to like more information, I think I'm a bit more open right now, and I'm proud for the exposure that has made me get here, because I think like right now I'm a bit more understanding of people's situation and circumstances. That also has brought me more empathy and compassion, because I know like there's more to life than what I already know. So like I'm making more room to like understand other people and their experiences and stuff like that. I'm also proud to have tried sex toys, because I remember I once spoke to this. Also, I once went to like a girls' group trip, and apparently in that group trip there was like a lot of like women who were older than me. They're like in their late 30s, mid 30s, and stuff like that. And by then I was like mid late 20s. And then at some point, sex was the topic, obviously. And then they started like speaking about how sex for them is a chore. And then one even said that she's like in her late 30s and she doesn't know what orgasm feels like. She has never come in her life. She has 3 children, which means she has sex in her life, but she just doesn't see the fun in it. She does it as labor. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine that being my life. I can't imagine going through life and not enjoying the tiny joys of life. Like, things like sex, which are supposed to be like natural gifts. So I'm very proud of myself to have like given myself the room to like explore sexually, but also to have like explored sex toys and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I'm very open when it comes to those things, which that has opened me to like a good number of like things in its own way. And then because of all the experiences, then you sort of like get to learn about your body, you get to learn about the things that you like and things that you don't like, which makes the whole thing more of an experience for you. So I'm just so proud to have done that, because I can't imagine being in my late 30s or like having a child and not have experienced the joy of sex. I mean, like, I just can't imagine doing sex as a chore. So I'm very proud to have taken the route that I've taken to like explore more and like find the fun stuff that I like. I'm also proud for being able to let go of the need to change other people's realities. So I think, I don't know, this was one of the hard pills that I had to swallow, because like I grew up with my siblings, and I think at a certain point in my life, like for instance, like my sister would choose like a different path, and I'd be like, no, you deserve so much better. You should not settle for that and stuff like that. So I was like, no, 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 go this way, go this way, go this way. And then later I realized actually she's an adult. She knows what she's doing. And sometimes you just need to let people live the lives that they have chosen for themselves to live, and to just like let go of the need to like control, because I felt like, I know maybe it was coming from a good place, like just the sheer determination to like wish certain things for someone. But then it was later that I realized maybe what you wish for them is not what they want for themselves. So just being able to let go the need to change other people's realities was one of the hard pills that I had to swallow. And I'm proud to have like gotten there, because I was just beating myself up for nothing. I was letting the situations of other people be the cause of my stress, which is really not the way things should work, because everyone is supposed to sort of like worry about their own situations. Because to be fair, like my own life has a lot of circumstances that other people maybe may not approve of. And if everyone tried to change the other person, like, where would this be? But this also like in relationship, like I think I also came to realize like sometimes, you know, when you start dating a person and you're like, I like him, but I want to change so and so and so in him. I was a bit of that also, like in like my early mid-20s. And then later I realized actually part of like loving someone is like being able to like acknowledge the flaws and knowing that, okay, these are the things I'm willing to live with. Not like I will change him for the better. No, you have to be like, okay, this is the guy I like. These are his flaws. Am I willing to live with them? Because that need to change a person, I think it can just be a cause of like stress, and then you end up fighting for nothing. It's just not worth it, basically. So I think just being able to let go of that need to change other people's realities or changing other people's character, it has been like something very freeing for me, and I'm proud to have gotten there. Number 18, I'm proud to have finally started my YouTube channel, because this has been long in the wish list. I think at first I started dreaming about having a YouTube channel was like in my early 20s, when I was like 19, 20, 21, which were like the first few years of my university. During my bachelor's degree was when I was like, oh my God, I should open a YouTube channel. But then I never like did anything about it, you know. I was just like, I want to have it, but I'm not putting in the work and the effort to like do it. So I'm proud to have finally come around and to have like actually started it, and to like making all these efforts to like make this thing work. I'm just proud, like just seeing this channel out there, and the fact that it was once a dream but now it's like out there. I don't know, it just feels so good. So I'm proud for that. I'm also proud for my current openness to sexual exploration. I think this also relates to the sex toys point, but this is it's a bit different, because this is more of like just my perception. This also carries the judgmental part of me, which was before, like I was very, like there are certain things that I could judge people off, but I mean, like now I'm more of like, I understand that every person has their vice kind of situation, and I'm more willing to like open, listen, and like explore. I don't know. I feel like just the my openness in this area has sort of like increased over the years, and that's something that I'm very proud of. Number 20, I'm proud. I'm proud, proud, proud. This is the last but not the least. I'm proud to have let myself explore dating outside my race. I think in my early 20s and even like in my late teens, I'd only dated within my race. And my experiences are not that nice. I feel like sometimes we just like grammarize that, oh, they're your people, shoo, 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 shoo. But my experiences are not like golden or anything. And then at some point I was like, why am I like not dating like anything else outside? So I'm not sure where the change really happened. I can date anyone, you know. I don't have to date like someone who's exactly like me, someone who's has to be like within my race and stuff like that. So I think the more I started, also this came with travel as well. Like I feel like travel, just the expansion of thinking, being like more open-minded and stuff like that. So I feel like all of those happening, they sort of like also changed my perception on dating and relationships. And yeah, so at some point I just like let myself loose and like try dating outside my race, and God, it is amazing. I mean, like, let no one fool you, it is amazing. So I'm very proud to have like been there, because I don't know, I feel like if I'd not allowed myself to explore, or if I'd been very close-minded on like the idea of it or anything, I would never have known how grateful relationships could be. I would never have known like how amazing a love life could be, you know. So I'm not saying you have to date outside your race to experience this, but apparently for me that has been my experience. My experience was not as good before as it is now, so to everyone their advice kind of situation. But yeah, so I'm proud for that as well. So those are the 20 things that I'm proud to have done in my 20s. And I don't know, I'm just sharing because I sort of like want to document this like last few weeks before I turn 30, because the age is scary. But also I sort of like, I'm also like using this time to sort of like reflect in the last 10 years of my life. Like how was things been? How has the journey been? How much has changed since I was like 19 until now I'm like 29, you know? So, and I'm using this channel because it's so lovely to share it with the world. Like, I love talking to the camera. So, until next time, adios.